Welcome everybody to episode 9 of the Paper and Plastic Show. And this show is where we talk about paper and plastic. This is the Ocean Ridge Studios. I got our friendly media personality Jazib behind the cameras. You got me, Usman Hamid, and today we're going to talk about a super important topic called by many people on our TikToks and Instagram comments as the devil's spawn itself. So plastic has a really bad rep. Everybody says it's made from petroleum. It's polluting the planet. Just stop using it. Okay, look, there's some truth to that. Plastic, to a certain degree, is one of the largest pollutants in the world. It is being misused in a way that we're creating a lot of plastic because it's cheap and making a lot of plastic products because they're cheap. But at the same time, we're not being socially responsible. We have not created the recycling programs in many places to maybe responsibly use that plastic, and especially in third world countries. And there is obviously a lot of litter and waste. But at the same time, it does not mean that we cannot be socially responsible because you can't just ban things. Yeah, and we talked about this in a previous episode that life is not so much about the black and white, it's about the gray. It's not about the and, it's about the or. Because you can't just outright just ban everything. Plastic is bad, it's the devil's offspring, ban it. Diesel motors, gasoline motors, engines are bad, only electric, ban them. You can't just be so black and white because different use cases, different moments, different economies, different countries at different stages of their lives have a different way of using materials. So I'll give you an example. Like on my desk right here, this adapter, that's plastic, right? You're not going to make this out of glass. You're not going to make this out of metal because metal, not a great combination. You're not going to make this out of wood, flammable. So what are you going to do? So you're going to use plastic. Have to use plastic. So this plastic bag, it's clear. Now what else is clear? Because you want to show the content inside. You can use glass, obviously not feasible. You can't use wood. You can't use paper. I guess you could use paper, but then you wouldn't see the inside of the contents. Okay? Say you don't care about the insides. Paper is not as strong as this. I mean, not always. It's also not as light. And it's also kind of expensive, right? It's more expensive than this. So why do they use plastic? Well, because of all the reasons mentioned above. And in most cases, this is recyclable. But at the end of the day, plastic is not bad by nature. Plastic is bad because we make it bad. You know what they say? Like, the internet by nature is not a bad place, but it's the humans that are using or misusing it that make something bad. By nature, this comes from nature. It comes from the ground. It originates from petroleum. It comes from the earth. It's not like it's an alien substance, right? It comes from the earth. It's a natural, made from molecules. What makes it bad is our misuse of it. It's us using plastic one time and throwing it in the landfill. Because if it goes in the landfill, it's going to get buried in the earth and it'll stay in the earth for thousands of years. Like, what is like the half-life of plastic? Let's look at quick. Whoa, okay, never mind. Plastic waste can take from anywhere from 20 to 500 years to decompose in the earth. That means it never fully disappears. It only gets smaller, and it's going to stay there for like 500 years. That's why it gets a bad rep, because it lasts so long. Now look at it from the other perspective. If it lasts so long, it must be robust, right? And it must have some qualities in it that makes it more long-lasting and therefore more durable. So why not use that material for many, many cycles on your own to reuse it? And then step 2, put it in the recycling bin so that it can be shredded. This is plastic that has been, recycled. It's been crushed down and it's been made into these pellets. And these pellets, you can melt them and you can make new plastic. Believe it or not, all of this plastic right here, this is LDPE, low density polyethylene. It can be melted down and it can be converted into new plastic. And we got to start looking at plastic in that light, that it's not something that is evil. It's something that is very robust and it can be recycled almost an infinite number of times as long as the material can stay clean. And it's a lot easier to purify plastic than it is to purify paper, because paper, like a cardboard box, it'll absorb water, it'll absorb impurities, and over time the fibers will break. Plastic bottle, use it for like 6 years and it can still be recycled. And that's super cool. And that's something how we got to think about plastic. So anyhow, let's look at this plastic video. This is a video from Insider on TikTok, and the title is called Thermal Polyfloss Production. Okay, let's see it.
This looks like cotton candy,
Yeah,
It's
it's like
actually
cotton candy.
plastic
Okay.
trash,
And then now it's pulling.
spun into soft, ultra-thin fibers. The four people who invented the process were
Wow.
inspired
That's
by the
exactly
chemical
like cotton
change.
candy.
Now their company,
See how
the
they have the
Polyfloss
big, like,
Factory, is deploying these portable units around the world.
polyfloss factory.
These covers can help keep basic shelters warm, even in
Wow.
refugee camps. In
That's just
2020,
amazing, man. That's
Polyfloss
how we gotta be
partnered with
thinking about
two
material,
NGOs
man.
to
How we
install
gotta think about
shelters at
waste.
a
Like,
camp in northwestern
nothing is
Syria.
bad.
They set up
Nothing is
production in
inherently bad. See how,
Gaziantep.
like, they
Most
get
of the
that waste,
waste
they
they
put in the
use
granules, and
comes from shredded
they make it in
debris.
granules with the small plastic
Field
pellets,
tests showed the
and they're
insulation
able
kept
to
the
make these
shelters up
insulated
to
homes for
14
people.
degrees
And
warmer in the winter.
it's
The
something
aluminum
that, if they
covers
were to use brand new
reflect
virgin
sunlight,
material, they
so the
probably couldn't
panels can
afford
also keep the
these
shelters
countries or
cool
these
in
camps to
summer.
afford the
Polyfloss
insulation. But
also
now, if you use
deploys
waste
institutions to
plastic, all of a
countries that
sudden,
have little to no
not just
recycling
can you address
infrastructure,
these
like
massive
Nepal.
piles of
Cities
of
around
plastic,
Europe
but so
collectively
this is not
recycle
bad. Like, we can
3
move the video to the
million
side.
metric tons of.
So those mountains of piles of plastic, that's not, don't blame the plastic. Blame the people using the plastic, and then blame the people disposing the plastic. The reason we're making this show and this podcast is to educate and let you know that, look, you can do something about this. Just because you don't see those piles and piles of plastic in North America or Europe is because they're able to dig big holes and get rid of the plastic and get rid of the waste. And they can, obviously, over there. But it does not mean that that garbage is not, just sitting there. If you can put it in the blue bin, and these countries slowly can adopt these programs to reuse and recycle, this plastic can be a really powerful thing that we're not so much scared about anymore. But we're just, hey, it's one of our things that we use, and it's just part of our many, many materials that we're all recycling and finding new creative solutions for. So that's a wrap, and we'll see you in episode 10.